Burn Live, y'all. Marijuana, we keeping y'all connected. Hashtagging these red eyes, changing the viewers. I read, keeping underage, smoking off social media, killing myself for your entertainment. Sitting here with friends and family, starting a cannabisation across the nation. Welcome everybody to another edition of the Burn Live show. I appreciate it. I highly appreciate it. This is I love podcasting. I love live streaming, ladies and gentlemen. I love coming in here and talking and smoking weed, and that's where it first started off. It really just started off with just me coming in here, just wanting to smoke weed and enjoy weed and have a beautiful cannabisation with everybody. That's all I truly, really, really wanted in the beginning. And I stand on that. I still want that cannabisation. I just want it for more serious topics. I want to be able to come in here and be able to talk to you guys about anything and grow an audience, because the things that I look up, a lot of people have audiences, 103 viewers, 87,000 viewers. And I was just like, man, I'll just be happy with 50 viewers. And that's not me complaining about this, you know what I'm saying? I understand that I got to step my game up or doing shorts or whatever it takes to build an audience. I do understand that. So Wednesday and Thursday, when I have a little bit more time and can settle down, I am going to revamp my show to where I talk more about cannabis, more about weed, actually bringing weed more into the conversation, and then get into the political and things that are going on naturally out there in the world. These are things that I am trying to work on to try to improve my show, to get you guys out here to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. On Facebook, hit me with the stars or anything of that sort. Anything of that nature, I would highly appreciate what's going on. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody has been going over a lot of things that have been going over in the last week. You have music songwriter blowing up, Oliver Anthony blowing up all over social media. He made one song that had over 40 million views. The debate was a couple of nights ago where it was a good debate for people that watched it. It was a very decent debate. Trump still showed the show. He broke the internet. Over 200 million views watched for everybody just to watch the Trump show. Very spectacular. Um, and everybody still wants to know, is Trump going to jail and what's going to happen. And I've been doing a lot of videos and showing videos, and well, not showing video, but watching a lot of videos to explain to me, is he going to jail, and what do people think and stuff like that. Now, I get into that to like I'm saying I'm gonna be bouncing back and forth, y'all. This still a marijuana, still gonna be getting you high. Like I said, I'm gonna be revamping, breaking down weeds, joints. Try to find me a little picture to put up in here to share with you guys. Like, hey, look, check this out. Maybe I probably really, really do need to get back on that weed camera shit. My weed camera and stuff like that. Having some weed, bud, and enjoy. Get back to enjoying sitting here talking and cannabisation and building something that I can be proud of. Yeah, I had to smoke. I ain't smoked all day. All day. This has been the most weirdest time to want to smoke. Like, you ever want to smoke and then you get interrupted by things that are going on, and you just like, man, no matter what you're doing, the only thing you're really thinking about is getting back to smoking that blunt. That's how it is for me.
Well, what I did say.
the first thing I want to get into and discuss and talk about and break down. So I think that's another thing that we're gonna start doing. We over here in the cannabis world, since we're a cannabis world and we were not really political or we're not really this, we're not really that, is we're gonna sit back and start observing other podcasts and their opinions and their inputs, and then we're gonna put our inputs in on how we feel and what we think about something. And the reason why I'm saying that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Breakfast Club. Everybody, oh yeah, I will be changing my mic around too. I thought about bringing that back a little bit closer so I can put it up here. I can talk talk with you guys. Yeah, talk that talk, y'all. Talk that talk, capiche. Hashtag that red eye, capiche. I need that camera close. But Breakfast Club. We're gonna get into the Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club is a very black popular radio show, podcast, or however you want to call it. And they bring on a lot of people and talking celebrities and rappers and stuff like that. So everybody know the Breakfast Club in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know a little bit about Charlemagne the God, right? Okay. All right. So we all know about that. Charlemagne the God brought Larry Elders on. A lot of y'all already understand, already know is who is Larry Elders. Larry Elders is a black man who's running for president of the United States of America for the Republican Party. He's been trying and doing the right, legitimate things to get on a debate, and they have been debunking him on it. So everybody's just been talking about this 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 case that went down where Larry Elders went on the Breakfast Club and Charlemagne went to him and asked him about, have we had a end moment? And that's, you know what? Better yet, how about I just bring up the video and then we just break it down and discuss it better. But Larry Elders running for president. He's the DNC has made up these false allegations and rules to the reason why he can't get on there. Now I'm gonna break this down. I'm gonna have this lawyer break this down, and then I'm gonna go to this other show. I'm gonna go around and start having you see other people and their reaction to this and what's going on. That's what I'm gonna do just to start us off, and so y'all can get understanding.
It is an incident where a person of color forgets that they are of. I know you probably got to go. Have you ever heard of the term "go wake up call"?
And wake up call. It's the proper word, is what it.
No, it is an incident where a person of color forgets that they are of color and are reminded rather brutally by an unexpected act of racism. Have you ever had any of those?
Brother.
I'm just asking.
Now, let's start right here on my behalf. Is that a real word that Charlemagne looked up? Is that a real word? Is that real? Is that a real attribute to the black community? Do black people that sees a person who doesn't grow up in the hood or in the systematic system think like that? These are questions that I want to know first. That's why you're going to hear this comment and you're going to hear this reply. Now, if somebody came to me, Charlemagne definitely. But if somebody came to me with some BS like that, this is how you definitely respond back to them as what you would call a clapback. You don't come.
I know you probably got to go. Have you ever heard of the term "go wake up call"?
No.
It is an incident where a person of color forgets that they are of color and are reminded rather brutally by an unexpected act of racism. Have you ever had any of those?
brother.
I'm just asking. You think you've ever
Well,
had
I'm acutely aware, Charlamagne, that I'm a black person, just as you are a black person. And when Joe Biden insulted you by saying, you ain't really black, we don't know whether or not you want to vote for me or vote for Donald Trump, it seems to me that should have been a wake-up call on your part. How dare this guy come in here and insult you, a black man, and tell you you got to think a certain kind of way? I'm amazed that you weren't mad about that.
That's a clap back. That's how you clap back. Okay? Now, the reason why I'm getting into this because I seen this story, actually this story that we're going to discuss and break down, and it was just
and
very
he came in here and told you aren't even black and let you think a certain kind of way. It seems to me that should have been a wake-up call for you, but it wasn't, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, no, for the record, I'm not a Democrat or Republican.
I didn't say you were.
Yeah, I think both.
I don't know what you are. I never even asked you what
Okay. That's my other problem with people in America. Not all people. Because I'm learning that there are independent people who has a broader idea, who understands the systematic problems and programs that are put in place that you need. Let's go back to marijuana real quick before we get into this. So people won't say like, okay, he's always talking about politics, but he don't get into weed. So let's get into weed. Without people like Joe Biden and Donald Trump and Obama, I almost want to say Bill Clinton, but we're not going to put him into this. We sort of, but these so-called rich or uppity or white people are the reason why we are able to smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? And you need a person who's going to get put in office, who's going to let this weed be regulated, federal, and stuff like that. No offense, and I'm not knocking nobody, but Larry Elders is not the person whose mind agenda is going to help us with marijuana. Just for us potheads out here, okay? Just for us potheads out here. Just want to put that out there, okay? But this story is basically this story right here is how we as a black community treat each other for as you with the niggas or you not with the niggas. You see what I'm saying? If y'all caught that and understood that, that's what this is really about.
Your party affiliation.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, but you are black. And to have a white guy come in here and tell you have to say think a certain kind of way, otherwise you, quote, ain't black. Wow.
How should I have replied to him, you think?
What I just now said, how dare you insult me and tell me I think as a human being, let alone as a black person?
Several days later.
Because y'all can post that clip of Larry Elder having an opinion about Joe Biden's "you ain't black" comments 40,000 times, but what Larry...
This right here, this clapback that he did is bringing up...
He needed was 40,000 people to donate $1.
Charlamagne the God is super salty over the Larry Elder interview. All right, so let me catch you guys up on what's going on. Larry Elder, presidential hopeful, went on the Breakfast Club, which is an extreme left-wing show, to try to get some support so he can make it to the debate stage. He goes on there and he has this conversation with the crew there. Now, that conversation went so bad for those people. I mean, Larry Elder just took it to the next level and essentially destroyed all their talking points, all their logic, and he did it essentially with just facts and evidence. Here are the facts. Here's the evidence. Prove me wrong. And even in the clip that you just saw about the, blank wake-up call, I can't say it because this is YouTube, Larry Elder threw it right back in his face, right? Joe Biden told you wasn't black if you ain't vote for me. And I think that should have been a wake-up call, right? If we're talking about a blank wake-up call. So Charlamagne got really, really upset at how this was portrayed in the media. Let me let you understand why Charlamagne is giving Larry the donkey of the day and essentially, taking this victory lap. So to get on the Republican debate stage, the Republican National Committee, the people who are holding the debate, have this criteria. And this criteria...
This right here is a learning point, right? This is a learning point for this to happen. And for Charlemagne to make fun of, not necessarily block, because that's the wrong way to say it, but to make fun of and discredit and not trying to uplift a man, another black man trying to get on the stage and make a change. That's where people look at it and be like, okay, man, what's going on, dog? We supposed to be working together or are we not working together? You see what I'm saying? Are we working together or are we not working together? We can smoke this weed together, but we're not getting in that Uber the car. That's the type of situation people are putting people in to make people feel uncomfortable and weirded out. That's what Charlemagne did to Larry Elders. You're not black enough to hang with the black people. I'm gonna put you over there with the white folks. But this is what Larry Elders is trying to do to become the president, to make a real difference in America. And then people are going to say, what's Charlemagne doing to make a difference in the area? What is the Breakfast Crew doing to make a difference in America?
Criteria has multiple parts to it, but the two that are most important is that you need to have, I think, 40,000 donors, and they can donate at least $1. So Larry has accomplished that. He's gotten the donors, but there's another part where you have to be polling at 1% in at least 3 national polls. So Larry submitted 3 national polls where he is polling at 1%, but the RNC, the Republican National Committee, didn't accept one of his polls. So they accepted 2, but not 1. And the poll that they didn't accept is something that everyone uses. You know, you'll see this on CNN and all this other stuff, but you know, the RNC said, well, we're not accepting that poll. So then Larry submitted another poll that was actually done before the deadline, but the results were published after the deadline, and then they didn't accept that either. So Larry's right now, his issue is that, hey, you're not accepting legitimate polls, and that's how you're keeping me out of the debate, because I got the donors, I got everything else. And I have 2 of the 3 polls. So why would you keep me off the debate stage and then reject one of my polls?
Black people, black people, black people, black people. The reason why they keeping Larry Elders off the stage is because he's going to keep it so 100 in the black community that the industry or the government fears that he's going to wake us up. Did y'all hear me? The system is scared that Larry Elders is going to wake up the black community and put us up on game. Larry Elders can say enough speech to get us riled up to where you could turn a lot more people into Trump supporters than what you think. Ron DeSantis. Because once Elder gets, and that's what I'm waiting on, for him to get up there to make that speech, and then other people are gonna bite off his speech and use his sound wave. Will they put this into order? I don't know. But his message is powerful.
Instead of me bumbling through it, let Larry Elder specifically tell you why he didn't make it and what he likely is going to sue about.
All right, gang, here's the deal. As you know, I submitted 3 national polls as required, one of which was the Rasmussen poll. The RNC contacts me and says, I can't use Rasmussen because it is, quote, affiliated with the Trump campaign, close quote. I didn't know that. It's not affiliated with my campaign. Rasmussen says Trump did not pay for a poll, did not even suggest a poll, and that they have no business not using Rasmussen to be one of the polls that Elder submits. Also, after we found out they weren't going to accept Rasmussen, we submitted another poll where I'm over 1%. We didn't submit it until after the deadline because we didn't know that Rasmussen was going to be rejected. And the poll didn't publish its results until after the deadline. But they finished their polling before the deadline. So 3 national polls have been submitted. Even if you exclude Rasmussen, there's no reason why we shouldn't be up there on that debate stage. Also, regarding Rasmussen, if you look at the Twitter feed of the RNC, they quote Rasmussen all the time. All of a sudden now, Rasmussen is tainted because it's affiliated with Trump. This is bull. If I'm not up there on that debate stage, I will see them in court. We're going to file an injunction. I will be there. I'm already here in Milwaukee. Out.
Okay, so now listen to how Charlemagne explains the issue.
Well, Donkey of the Day for Wednesday, August 23rd goes to Mr. Larry Elder. And not just Larry Elder, all you fake supporters who let Larry Elder down. See,
The bashing of one another. That's be killing me. That kills me so bad, ladies and gentlemen. The bashing, the Charlemagne just get on there and bash. Martin, what's his name? The Martin show that I watch, bashing.
Larry Elder was a guest here on the Breakfast Club last week, and he's more than welcome to come back. He was here because he's running for president of the United States of America, but also he was trying to make the GOP debate stage, which is tonight. In order to make the GOP stage, you have to meet the polling and donor requirements needed for the debate. Okay, 8 candidates have done that. Larry Elder is not one of them. When he was here last week, I asked him about an op-ed he wrote where he discussed the RNC debate limits, and he said that they are bad for the party and the American people. He feels the RNC has rigged the rules of the game by setting a criteria that is poorly designed, and only establishment-backed and billionaire candidates are guaranteed to be on stage. Can we flash back to that conversation from last week? Is this system holding you back?
Go ahead.
Would you say it's a system holding you back?
I would say it's unfair. It seems to me this early, the voters ought to decide this. I mean, in 2016, there were 17 or 18 Republican candidates. Now there's 13. Somehow, some way, our republic survived, and we could survive with 13 candidates. I don't know why they have all this rule to eliminate certain people at this point. But rather than
those systems can hold you back no matter how hard you work, right?
No, I'm going to say, but rather than whine about it, my goal is to get on as many shows as I can, like yours. Urge people to go to LarryElder.com, give at least $1, even if you want somebody else.
Can hurt you no matter how hard you work, right, Larry? But Larry said instead of whine about it, he's going to come on more shows like Breakfast Club and just encourage people to work towards getting him on that stage. Well, Larry Elder must have changed his mind because he is now planning to sue the RNC after failing to make the first primary debate. He posted on Twitter yesterday, I said from the beginning that it appeared the rules of the game were rigged. Little did we know just how rigged it is. For some reason, the establishment leaders at the RNC are afraid of having my voice on the debate stage. As I told him last week, sometimes, Larry, no matter how hard you work, there are systems in place that are just rigged against you, okay? Trust me, as Black Americans, we know this. You know this too.
The interesting part about what Charlemagne is trying to sell to the people who watch his show is that their whole argument is that there's systemic racism and the system is trying to hold people back. But he's leaving out a real fundamental piece of their argument when Larry was there. Their argument was white people run the system, and that since white people run the system, it was inherently racist. And there was a question that came from one of his co-hosts that said, well, what governmental system do Black people run? And here is that exchange so you guys can understand, because Larry's argument was, well, hey, we can't complain about the systems that we run. We run some of these systems. So in the systems that Black people run, then we can't complain that the systems are rigged against us, right? That just doesn't make any sense. Unless you're saying Black people who run those systems are rigging the systems against Black people. But listen to the exchange and then we'll come back.
We're agreeing.
No, we're agreeing to two different things. We're not agreeing that there's not systematic racism because we're not in charge of the system, sir, in case you
Okay, all right. Can we?
Systematic racism, systematic racism. I hear that word so much by so many people, and to them explaining systematic racism is when stuff was set up for Black people to fail. I can get with that. I can understand that. That makes sense if it was set up for us to fail. But there are a lot of systems that were set up for Black people to fail that has changed.
Can we?
Black people have never been in charge of any system.
Well,
We're not
actually, we have been. Take Baltimore.
No, we've never been in charge.
May I finish?
in charge. The same thing he's gonna break it down too. What system have we been in charge of?
Tell me, what financial system are Black people in
Okay,
charge of?
let's
What
take.
healthcare system are Black people in charge of? What government system are Black people in charge of?
Now I paused it right here. Remember, listen to the question. What governmental system are Black people in charge of?
I'm about ready to tell
What
you.
prison system are Black
I'm
people in
about ready to
charge?
tell you.
I'm not talking about mayors. I already know that talking point, sir. I go on Fox News all the time as well. So let's not go there with that. I said, what system have we created?
Goodness.
Have we implemented that we have been in charge of?
Now, just to be clear, she's changed the question. What systems have Black people created? I would bring up Africa and all these other places, but she's changed the question. It was, what systems were Black people in charge of? Now, what systems have they created? Because she knows that a mayor is in charge of the system.
Name one.
So, ladies and gentlemen, on this show, so I can say it and I can hopefully make a short or something and use this for later on. Like he said, he's correct. We got a lot of Black indigenous countries where we created the system. You know, we started slavery, literally started it, created it. We was trading on it very well. Black people was going for a high rate back in the day. These are systems that got infiltrated over here that we now run. When you have a mayor or a governor running them same systems, we actually had a president. It had the most biggest lawmaking, the biggest job in this United States of America. The biggest job. That's stuff that she and if I wish she would have said Obama, because then she would have knocked him. So you're not giving credit when credit due. Obama didn't do nothing. Yeesh.
Is this why you don't like talking to Black women, Larry Elder?
Wow. Baltimore. Freddie Gray a few years ago.
No. That's mayors. I'm not talking. I said system.
I'm
Remember,
going to
you like
tell
the
you
word
about
system.
this system if you allow me to finish my point.
I'm not talking about somebody elected and doing a job, sir. I asked, what system did we create? What financial
Okay, let's
system
talk
did we
about the
create?
system of one of the largest.
Let him say his
Thank
point,
you.
sir.
One of the systems of one of the largest cities in America, Baltimore. Freddie Gray died in police custody a few years ago. The mayor was Black. The head of the police department was Black. Number two.
It's not in charge of the system, but go ahead.
Number two person in charge of the police department was Black. All
Still not in charge of the
all of
system.
city council, Democrats, majority Black.
Still not in charge of the system.
Wow.
That's a position.
6 officers charged, 3 of them were Black. A judge before whom 2 of the officers tried their case, found him not guilty, was Black.
Still not in charge of the system.
The city.
It sounds like Baltimore is ran by a bunch of Black people, and she's not giving none of the. Baltimore. Do y'all smoke weed? Since it's Black people, I know Baltimore, man. I know y'all got YouTube, Baltimore. I know Baltimore is not gonna let the Breakfast Club talk bad. Let people really. I need to find me a friend out there in Baltimore. And like y'all gonna let the Breakfast Club doubt y'all and say that y'all not running y'all town? Y'all not running y'all city? Y'all not running y'all blocks out there? Say it on Breakfast Club.
Intendant of public schools was Black. The county superintendent of public schools was Black. The attorney general at the time, Loretta Lynch, is Black, as was the president of the United States, was Black. And yet,
Still not in charge of the system.
who's in
I
charge of
asked
the
you a
system,
simple
Ted?
question, sir.
Well, Wanda Sykes said when Barack Obama got elected, how are you going to complain about the man when you are the man? Now, from the president to the attorney general to the state attorney to the mayor to the head of the police department to the commissions of the schools in the city and in the county to the majority of city council in that city, all of them are Black. And you're still saying that we don't run anything?
So who's in charge of the
No,
system, Ted?
Now, even at this point, Charlemagne is asking him, well, then who's in charge of the system? If it's not the president, the mayor, the city council, the attorney general, who is in charge of the system? Listen to what she says.
I said, who created the system? I didn't say we didn't run anything. I challenged a lot of those Black leaders, by the way. I said, when we talk about the system, what Black people have been in charge of any system? I'm not talking about a position. I'm not talking about a mayor. You know good and well what I'm talking about.
So now, just to be clear,
So you know good and well what I'm talking about. What the hell are you talking
the
about?
point that they were making on that show is
Go ahead, my
the point
brother.
Charlemagne is trying to sell you now. The point that we're making on the show is that white people run all the systems, and that because white people are in charge of the systems and they run the systems, that means the systems are inherently racist. And when she said, well, what systems do black people run? Larry Elder said, oh, it's easy. Baltimore, they run the entire system. New York, he's a black mayor, right? He runs the system. Chicago, there are many cities where black people run the system. And instead of acknowledging that, yes, their causation that if white people run the system, it's inherently racist, then what about when black people run the system and you have the same problems? Does that mean those systems run by black people are inherently racist? No. So I think that's the point they're trying to make. They're trying to say that if the system is run by white people, you should suspect systematic racism. But when it's thrown in their face, but what about when black people run the system? They're trying to say, well, they really don't run the system. Then who runs the system at all? Again, the argument is stupid, and Charlemagne knows their argument was defeated. But now he's going to try to change it to make it seem like Larry Elder is being a hypocrite by complaining about the RNC's qualifications, and that in turn proves that the system is racist. Check it out.
Fight is always going to be fixed. Just like in America, for certain communities, the fight is always going to be fixed. And that's not being a victim. That's just telling the truth. And if it's not telling the truth, then Larry, right now, you are being a victim. Okay, but I don't want you to be a victim. I don't know what the qualifications for the second debate are, but I do know that if you want to beat this system, Larry, you got to work. Those bootstraps ain't going to pull themselves up, okay? Get your people active, because y'all can post that clip of Larry Elder having an opinion about Joe Biden's "You Ain't Black" comments 40,000 times, but what Larry needed was 40,000 people to donate $1.
No, I don't know why Charlemagne is just being dishonest, because he knows Larry got the donations. It was an argument on whether the polls were correct or not, or whether they're going to use the polls. So I don't know why he's even saying this, but it's a nice little jab at the Fed. Okay.
There's over 45,000 comments on Breakfast Club's YouTube page underneath the Larry Elder interview. He easily has more than 1% support on those comments, but what Larry needed was to be polling at 1% in 3 qualifying state and national polls in order to make that debate stage tonight. Larry, your people got to get the bootstrap pulling. Okay, all that whining and complaining about myself and Tesla and envy the Democrats, that means nothing if you don't show up when it counts. Redirect that energy so Larry can make the GOP debate stage.
That's crazy. You're commenting on the comments because you know it's political season. That's why I laugh at people that be claiming that I'm independent. So you're going to vote? Yeah, okay then. You still got to pick a side. Until an independent person go out there and take the chance out and go out there and do as it does, then what y'all gonna do?
Because the quote, Larry, I have very little patience for the message of victimhood you are currently peddling. Please let Remy Ma give Larry Elder the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, you stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
Charlemagne is so salty over this. That's why he's using toilet paper to wipe his mouth, because the only thing that's coming out of it is bullshit. Let me put a bow on this. Their argument when Larry was on was that there is systematic racism. It's really systemic, but they're saying systematic racism in America. And their only proof that they brought out was the fact that white people created the system. And remember, the woman was saying, well, guess what? It's systematic racism. And who runs the system? Who runs the governmental system? Larry Elder just pointed out, well, hey, guess what? In the cities that are majority black, those systems are run by black people. So are you saying that black people are systemically racist against other black people? And if we can even counter her point about who created the system. Is it, if you go to Africa, all those systems were created by black people. So are those systems systemically racist against the same black people that run them? Obviously not. And that doesn't play well. But Charlemagne needs the audience to believe that systemic racism is real and exists. On the other end, he can't concede the point that a lot of the systems that they're talking about, a lot of systems where black and minority people live in, are systems run by those people. Larry Elder's not saying white people created the RNC, so therefore they're racist against him. That is not his argument. His argument is, I qualified, here is the criteria, and we have a disagreement whether I met it or not. That's a totally different argument. On one end, Larry is complaining that the system created by the RNC is not fair. But instead of just laying back and just saying, oh, well, there's nothing I can do, he went out and he said, hey, I'm going to get those donors. I'm going to get these polls. And now, so it's not about him not trying to make it based on the rules that they put forward. It's them saying, well, hey, these we just don't accept. And him saying, well, I disagree. But
See, that's what I'm saying, y'all. I just wanted to put my little input on that. But I like having a video up here to show y'all, like, man, this is the proof. This is what it really be looking like. Now, I got another idea that came to light that I guess that helped me out. So is it really okay. That was interesting just to see, dog. I told y'all, like, when I I see, now I'm starting to stutter. I understand why y'all see things the way y'all see. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I have failed to do is to keep the marijuana stuff going with y'all. I got a solution to it. I got a solution. I got it. So, what I'm gonna start doing is playing stuff like this. I'm gonna start playing little weed clips and news for y'all. That's what I'm gonna start doing. That's what I'm gonna start doing. I got you. See, this is what y'all wanna see. Mm-hmm. Oh shit, wrong button. This is what y'all wanna see.
People are enjoying the first official day of legal marijuana. Fox 9's Paul Bloom is live for us in St. Paul right now. And Paul, you're at a pot party. How's that going?
Well, my first time. Let's be honest. My first pod party. Here we are on the Sidewalk University in Snelling. Basically, I'm looking at Allianz Field across the street there. It's not a huge crowd, but they certainly are having some fun. You might say spirits high. We've got music, food truck. They're selling hot sauce and also selling these legal Minnesota T-shirts here. We left it legal in Minnesota August 1st, 2023. Some people telling me today, frankly, feels a little bit like Christmas.
Yeah, but it was a Christmas present delayed for quite a few years. But I agree. It's a nice Christmas present.
Randy Schroeder smoking his joint legally on patio in St. Paul Tuesday. Tells me he takes him right back to the 60s. A celebration he did not want to miss.
And it's nice to be able to sit out here and just enjoy it. During the past, you had to hide somewhere or something. This is much better.
With music and bright sunshine, the team at Pot Shots, a unique dispensary and bar serving cannabis-infused drinks along University Avenue, opened its venue inside and out for a recreational marijuana legalization day party.
August 1st. What are your thoughts?
Greatest day. It's about time they legalized it.
It's been such a long time coming in Minnesota, and it's affected so many people, different people in a lot of different ways.
Meanwhile, over in Minneapolis, Mayor Jacob Frey weighed in, celebrating the decriminalization of recreational marijuana use, also announcing the city will have a, quote, permissive approach as the retail market eventually comes online over the next year and a half or so. The state licensing process for the legal sale of cannabis remains a work in progress. But make no mistake, August 1st is the day many in Minnesota circled on their calendar. The team at the iconic First Avenue Rock Club gearing up for an epic bash tonight.
I am so honored. I'm so honored to be here. This is history in the making. This is history in the making, of cannabis going rec legal. So I'm just happy to be here and help in any little way that I can.
And it's pretty cool that the woman there, she's a florist brought in from New Jersey, contracted to put out all those flowers and make First Avenue look nice and pretty and celebrate all things cannabis. Tonight, that party just getting started on the other side of the river. It's expected to go all night. And one of the final cool things I just want to mention is so many people here today that I met, both in St. Paul and over in Minneapolis, part of the legalization movement in Minnesota. They fought for years today.
Congratulations, Minnesota. Congratulations. We got another one.
We have been talking about for years now.
Yeah, it's been legal for medical use in Ohio since 2016, but this could become legal for recreational use. It's just now up to the voters come November. And the word came really late yesterday afternoon from Secretary of State Frank LaRoche. Voters, supporters of it were able to get enough petition signatures in and able to come up after coming up short earlier this summer. But what exactly will this look like if it becomes legal here in the state of Ohio? The measure seeks to legalize the sale, purchase, and possession of cannabis for Ohioans 21 years and older. You'll be allowed 2.5 ounces of cannabis. You'll also be allowed to grow plants at home.
Now, some people... Now, with people out here in America feeling like they smoke the best weed, they gotta smoke the best weed, and it's not just because you got younger generation. We're what? You recreational for almost 10 years. So now it's right now. I'm still gonna stand on, like, I know a lot of countries smoke weed, but the freedom that we have to smoke weed now and to grow, we have the best weed. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, right now, when you go out of the country, you go to other countries and you're ready to sit up here and start smoking with other people, you're going to be a tad bit upset. You're going to be a smidget upset. I'm just letting you know. Don't get mad at me because I'm telling you this now, because you done been going to California, you've been going to Washington, you've been going to Oregon. It's recreational in your state. You know what I'm saying? So, all the good weed has been traveling up and down the United States of America. Everybody done smoked on some cookies by now. So, y'all just finna y'all are gonna make a new wave for alcohol to come back stronger, because weed is gonna be everywhere. And I understand, but ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you cannot, make your own alcohol in your home. Everybody's not making alcohol in their own home. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's not making alcohol in their own home. A good percentage of everybody who's somebody in America is growing some type of weed in their home. It's probably just as many people growing weed in homes as just as many as people actually growing, probably got guns. I don't know. There's no statistics to say that, but I'm damn near sure to say there's just as many people doing that. I guarantee there's just as many people smoking weed or growing weed, especially growing weed at home, especially smoking weed. Smoking weed, yeah, of course. Probably just as many people smoking weed as guns at home. Growing weed is about to be up there. It's about to be up there. If all 50 states get legal, every other neighbor, or you can probably say out of 10 homes on a block, 10 homes on a block, you probably got 5 neighbors that's growing half and half. Maybe 4, statistically, what they would probably say, some bullshit like that. But I'm probably saying 6 to 7 people are probably growing weed in their home. Nowadays, just as many as people have guns because it's getting recreational everywhere. Minnesota, Ohio, this is what's up.
Finally, a 10% tax would be imposed on purchases. That money would go to addiction treatment programs, cities with dispensaries, and also social equity and job programs as well. Now, Ohio will.
Okay, now this is the new so-called problem, ladies and gentlemen, that a lot of people really kind of don't care about it right now because, and I understand. Your state is just not getting recreational. You've been smoking because Missouri just like maybe a little bit under a year or so. So Ohio is November, Minnesota just August 1st. So a lot of states and other states too. And I'm not just gonna just pull them out. I'm just putting them out because they're new. But a lot of states are getting new. So you're smoking weed, you're chilling. And this is why I got political on my channel, because I want to go ahead and speak to those who smoke weed and we're getting high and you're paying the taxes for that dispensary and they tell you a phrase like that, where the taxes is going to. And you technically don't care. I guarantee you don't care where that money's going to. And there I'm like, you kind of want to care where they're tax-paying money, especially to your favorite dispensary. Your dispensary, you love it. They treating you right. You know what I'm saying? You spending your money there. They got the best weed. They're giving you deals. You know what I'm saying? You high-fiving. Hey, they calling you by name when you come up in there. And like they say, 10% tax. You kind of wanna think about where that taxpayer money's going to, because you do got states, for people that don't know, which I guarantee you don't know. You got states like Chicago, a small town in Chicago, who's giving their taxpayer money for weed to what was it? To schools. They're giving it to schools, and then they're giving it reparations for black folks. Yeah, there it is. So you got to think about that. Like, you might kind of want to think about it. You might not. I know people like, I don't care. And I'm like, you kind of want to care.
Be the 24th state to legalize weed for the use of adults. If this does get passed, we would join other states like Colorado, Michigan, Illinois, and New York, just to name a.
Look at this. This is perfect for me. Like I said, a lot of these states have been recreational. They love going to the stores, to the dispensaries and stuff. You paying your taxes, and you really don't care where your money is going to. And yet again, 2017, when it came recreational out here, did I care where my taxpayer money was going to when I was going in the dispensary? No. But now that I think about it, and I did get political, now I do care where our taxpayer money is going to, especially for this marijuana, because it could definitely be put towards use back into our communities well if we think and make sure that we vote the right votes and ask the right questions. And I do really kind of mean this. You know what I'm saying? I kind of mean this, but I really do mean this. I know, I really do. This is the point. This is the new takeover that we need to understand, that if we pull together in your state, I don't care what your state is doing and talking about and what they got going on, but you want to know where them taxes going to. What are they paying for? You know what I'm saying? And if you don't like what it's paying for, how can you put it towards something that is more better to help your state out? That needs to be the next movement for as okay, now it's recreational, the job is over. No, the job is not over, because now you're gonna let taxes go to waste, where we can be taking these taxes and put them towards something to make sure that your community, make sure that your state. Look at these states, y'all. Maine, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Massachusetts. Is that Virginia? No, that's North Dakota. Yeah. No, that's North. I don't know. I don't know all my. I know majority of my states, but I don't know them all up there, especially when they get small. Yeah, that's Virginia, Minnesota, Ohio, Illinois, Missouri, Montana, Washington, California, Nevada, Arizona, Alaska. You see what I'm saying? You need to understand where them taxpayer monies is going to. It's not simple as you really think. You be like, oh man, it's easy. You just no. We need to make sure that these taxpayer money is going to proper usage for our communities in these states. These are big states. There's a lot of things that you can think of, that I can think of, to be taking care of business to get things done.
A few of other states. Like I said, marijuana has been legal here in the state of Ohio since the year 2016. There's been a lot of push to make this legal recreational, to join those other 23 states. And come November, Ohio could be the 24th state to legalize recreation weed here in the United States. Guys?
Yeah. All right, Austin, yeah, people feel one way or the other about it. It's a big issue. It's going to be a big topic headed in.
That's funny. We just showed you another video, another person, you know what I'm saying? I know guaranteed that that dude was getting high. You know what I'm saying? I heard she trying to play like she ain't smoking no weed. She said that she smoke weed. One way or another. Okay. So let's see if I can get you. Let's see if I can get us just another decent, good story before I get back into our political wave. No. Nope. Okay.
Germany's cabinet has approved a draft bill to partially legalize the use of cannabis. It's the first step in a two-part plan and will need to be approved by Parliament. It would allow individuals to possess up to 25 grams of cannabis for recreational use and to grow up to 3 plants at home. People will also be able to join cannabis clubs to exchange marijuana. German Health Minister Karl Lauterbach said previous drug policies had failed as marijuana use was growing and black market products were becoming more dangerous.
It's a turnaround in our drug policy. We're decriminalizing cannabis, but we're...
Now look at her, y'all. Competition. They decriminalizing marijuana. Come on, man. You think Germany got better weed than America?
They're doing it in a controlled way, where private cultivation is allowed.
Y'all really think Germany got better cannabis than America? Come on now.
Our political correspondent Benjamin
Come on now.
Gruber has more. Welcome, Ben. Talk us through the main points of this draft bill.
Hey, but I bet you that brother, man, Bloody ain't here schooled me on some shit, Bloody. Boy, that boy speaking that proper English. Hey, boy, listen here. Everybody want to know where your English come from? You want to know where your English comes from?
So you mentioned that 25 grams of cannabis, it can be a maximum of 50 grams per month. And there will be the so-called cannabis clubs where people can meet, non-profit clubs, and then also exchange and grow these plants together. Will be a maximum of 3 plants that everyone can have in their homes for recreational use. And that's something that the German health minister Karl Lauterbach.
Okay, y'all, this was 10 days ago. You see how they're trying to catch up to America? You see how other countries want to be like America? Man, I need y'all to be watching this. Y'all is tripping. Y'all don't see how I see, how far behind. They try. Come on, man.
This is not a complete giving everyone the possibility to buy. There will also be strict rules, and what's important, and what he's also saying and stressing, that there will be a focus also.
Look at y'all. Y'all like, ooh, but them some big ass buds, capiche? I don't know, nigga. Them that look good. Stop playing with yourself.
And there will be the so-called
Stop playing.
And why are they doing this? What sort of benefits is Germany expecting to get from it?
You want to know what type of profits before I can answer? I can answer that question from a mile away. From a mile away, I can answer that question. You know why they loving that right there? Why they? Oh man, let's start building homes and building up equity. There are 2 states for sure that has took themselves out the gutter ever since they done went recreational. They basically build a foundation off of weed. You know what I'm saying? You may not like it. Some people don't like it, but that's what they did. They actually took weed because their state was failing, their jobs was leaving. It was, you know what I'm saying? They wasn't building nothing. You know, it was a failing state until it went recreational. And they came out the woodwork. Everybody came all over the place. The jobs came, opportunity came. Huh? Yes. See what he says.
There are many reasons for that, many reasons for the government to push for this. These are 2 plans. Today, he presented the first stage of the plan that passed the German cabinet earlier today. What they said is that they want to push back the black market and also want to reduce the number of things that police officers and agencies have to do when it comes to people.
They tired of writing You see how far behind they are. Y'all don't see it. They are so far behind. A lot of countries are far behind. Look, other countries won't even let you smoke no weed up in their state. Stop playing.
That have been getting this cannabis drugs and have been also sent by police officers or have been caught. So they want to reduce that as well. And they want to make it easier for people also to get the information about the drug, to also tell them that it's still dangerous, that they confuse it and consume it in a big amount. But at the same time, also starting this strategy.
Now, what you're seeing on this news clip, y'all saying the big producers, the big consumers, the people that, you know what I'm saying, when you want to fight the system, what you seeing is the system growing the weed in the background. That's what you and I and people over here in America were fighting against when y'all wanted to legalize weed. Okay? That's what we was fighting for over here in America. Over there, they're not fighting for that. They seen the profit that it made. Understand the black market, yeah. Crime waves, and you still gonna sell it on the streets, and the police still gotta write tickets. But they seen the increase of money that it made in other countries. Huh? What other country? America. Because there's no other country that does it like we does it over here. Y'all better wake up. Start appreciating your country. But see, a lot of young Americans wouldn't understand that. They wouldn't know that. They wouldn't see to light that. They would ignore that. Oh man, I don't care about America, man. Fuck America. I don't care about Joe Biden. I don't care about Trump. I don't care about none of them. But these people up here gotta look out for your interests somehow, some way, because you put them in office because you want them to recreation weed so we can smoke, we can chill, and I can sit up here and smoke weed with you guys and discuss this stuff so you can really understand it. Like, yo, and maybe I was, and I like a lot of people was telling me I don't talk about weed, and I'm sorry, and I apologize, and now I see why I had to get back over here into this marijuana, but also just do both. So it's like I'm gonna just try to mix this up. This is the new make sure to burn light. We always gonna talk about the weed. I'm gonna just start bringing up this stuff more in the beginning so y'all can see these stories and break this stuff down for you. Then I'm gonna go into a little deeper political things and show you why what. But these are industries. Oh yeah, that look good. Yeah. When the factories make it, of course. When y'all go up in them little dispensaries, of course, you probably gonna get some nice, decent weed. But that terpenes, come on, man. Y'all saying that like, oh man, Mike, you don't know what you talking about. That ain't America, y'all. Still indeed. You may see that. That may look nice. But that's Germany. All right. They still years behind. They not even medical with their weed growth. So imagine having all this weed on deck, because that's what they're doing right now. They're just not growing this weed now to have it on deck. So when they do go out there, they can put it in. Like, come on, man.
How difficult it is reducing costs also of prisons, of agencies, when it comes to drug-related crimes as well.
Right, and it has had its share of controversy. Talk us through what the critics have been saying.
That's right. There has been criticism not only from the opposition, there's also the police unions saying that they don't know if they need more capacities to track these cases. The pro-business FDP party, that's one of the three parties that's part of the government, has also criticized it, saying that they need more concrete ideas on what this will actually mean. Some are accusing the health ministry and also the German government in total of minimizing the effects that this might have. So we expect this to go further. This will also go through the Bundestag, through the parliament. The government expect this to be passed by the end of the year.
Thanks for that.
By the end of the year. Come on, bro.
So Benjamin Alvarez Gruber.
And I'm joined now by Nicolas Kuparanis. He's the co-founder of a company that sells cannabis here in Germany. Welcome to DW. You are in the cannabis industry yourself, so you must be happy about this new bill.
First of all, it's a pleasure being here. Thank you very much for having me. We are happy, especially for the reclassification of medical cannabis. That is something what was needed in the past and is done now by the first pillar. And also the decriminalization has its upsides. For example, Germany is spending 1 billion euros for law enforcement for the pursuit of offenses for cannabis. 85% of these offenses are
That hurt my feelings. I'm finna smoke my little blunt that I got left that I don't know. I'm finna just fire this back up. Did y'all hear how much he just said? That's why I stopped it right there. I couldn't even go past that. I had to stop, catch my breath, light my light my blunt. Did you hear what he just said? America. They spend $1 billion on the criminalization of marijuana. 1 billion euros. Jesus.
Only minor causes. So, for example, consumption. So we can also insist for the pursuit. Germany is spending 1 billion euros for law enforcement for the pursuit of offenses for cannabis. 85% of these offenses are only minor causes. So, for example, consumption. So we can also save money in the law enforcement system.
The whole Germany system is Texas. Their whole Germany system is Texas, and they have dispensaries. That means you can smoke weed, but you can still go to jail. Like, make that make sense of how backwards and controlling they are. Now, people over here in America like, oh no, America's controlling now. Bro, you don't know controlling till you know America. Huh? They got dispensary. This guy looks like he makes money. They're gonna vote on something that if they do vote on, it's gonna be at the end of the year. It's gonna take their whole next cycle. They might not get it. And you're trying to tell me that what? They spend €1 billion on the criminalization of marijuana, and you got to spend. Stop, man. Hold on, bro.
In Germany, so quite happy right now. Yeah.
Okay, and the German health minister, of course, is saying this bill will help to fight the sale of products on the black market. I mean, do you think that this will work practically?
Like I've said, it's the first step, right? The full-scale legalization didn't happen. That is something what the government promised by the end of 2021. That will not happen, obviously, because of international law, because of EU law. That is something what takes time and also takes.
Okay, ladies, I just like, it's like, bro. Do you know y'all not smoking no weed no time soon out there for real? Unless you hiding it. Stop, man. Look, check this out. Ladies and gentlemen, when y'all travel out here to these other states and y'all smoke that weed, man, I'm telling you, you might as well start traveling. Find a way. We need to find the best solution to travel with our own packs. If you can't go, man, bro, come please. Check this out. Y'all need to really pay attention to this.
Companionship within the EU for member states to join our forces and then basically have a change on the EU level. What Mr. Lauterbach is doing now, what the government is doing now, is a first step, and that is necessary, that first step. It is decriminalization, it is cannabis clubs, it is home grow, it is also the possession of 25 grams, and it is also reclassification of medical cannabis, which is great for patients, great for doctors, great for pharmacies. Second pillar, we don't know when that will happen. We don't have a law till now. Probably in 2024 is the scientific pilot projects in Germany regionally. That is full-scale legalization under the recreational umbrella, the full value chain legalization. That is the second pillar.
Okay. You say all of this is necessary. The draft bill has, of course, faced a whole lot of criticism. The Professional Association of Pediatricians in Germany is condemning the plans. They say it will encourage cannabis consumption among young people. What's your response to a criticism like that?
I strongly disagree. That is the most important step Germany could take right now. A illicit market is not something what we want to have. There's no control in terms of quality. There's no control in terms of youth protection. That is something what is outdated, and we had prohibition for 60 years now. Nothing has changed. So what we are doing right now is choosing a different approach in Germany to have a controlled market, to have controlled quality, and to also secure our youth from using cannabis. And that is absolutely necessary. So I don't understand these statements because they don't make sense to me if prohibition for 60 years has failed.
Nicholas Kouparanis, thank you so much for your time and for your point of view.
Thank you very much.
And we can get more reaction to this new proposed law now from a member of the German parliament, Christine Lütke. She's the spokesperson for addiction and drug policy for the business-friendly FDP party, which is part of the current German government. Welcome.
Basically, y'all, they finally got some nice people in government to think about. No. Let's take it back for real. They really have seen other countries like America succeed and do well in the cannabis, and they need to be a part of it, because other than that, people are still going to grow weed out there, smuggle it, no matter how you look at it, shape, form, or fashion. Period. That's just how that's gonna go. Now, we can start acting brand new all we want to with them, but nah, I'm not. It's funny, but not funny. I wouldn't really technically know how to argue on some shit like that. Like, look, y'all prime minister, yeah, I don't know. Well, technically, I think y'all need to do a practical joke, but then that'd lock you up in jail probably. Shit, you probably wouldn't see the next daylight at all no more. That's messed up. Congratulations, Minnesota, for coming recreational. Ohio, you're up next and getting legalized. I will be bringing everybody more stories. Yeah, all this is technically just about Minnesota. So, in other news, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? It's time to go to my boy. Time to go to my boy. Now, I know a lot of people just been watching me like, man, he need to do more. I would do more cannabis news every day. I'm doing cannabis news. I'm doing both. I will be definitely doing both. Okay, I promise everybody. Damn. See, these guys is who I was looking for. I was looking for them. Oops, wrong button. Wrong button. My bad. And I lost it. And I lost it. No, I didn't.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. While Sleepy Joe Biden is on his third vacation in 2 or so weeks now, there's been some news that have come out about Joe that we got to talk about, that the mainstream liberal media doesn't want to talk about. They want to distract you from, because the real criminal that we really should be talking about is not former President Trump. It really is Joe Biden, right? It is the criminal in the White House, because without a doubt, this guy probably is the one that should be taking a mugshot, not Trump. And as every day moves on, we get more and more and more evidence that this guy was making foreign policy decisions in exchange for cash from foreign entities. Okay, he was enriching himself through.
This is gonna be one of the best written movies, blockbuster hits, action-packed, action spy scandals, like he did it, of all times. 2 presidents, one that was a former president, one an actual president, fighting over the White House. And man, this is with all this stuff going on, it's like what now? What is bigger than this? Also, you got Russia, China, and South Africa who's trying to knock out the dollar bill. We're coming together as one country, as bringing a new gold. They're gonna start trading gold.
His son Hunter, okay, who was doing these business dealings overseas. He was enriching himself and his family in exchange for foreign policy decisions. And now you have Viktor Shokin, who was the fired Ukrainian prosecutor that was actively investigating the company, the Ukrainian company that Hunter Biden was on the board of, even though he has no real skills or expertise in that area. For whatever reason, he was on the board. And Viktor Shokin, who was fired because Joe Biden basically pressured the Ukrainian officials to get rid of him, or else they wouldn't get $1 billion loan. We have this on tape. Joe Biden admitted it. He's actually speaking out now. Okay, Viktor Shokin spoke with Fox News to discuss this situation, and he openly says that he believes that Joe Biden was bribed. Take a look.
In an interview airing tomorrow night on Fox News. Watch.
I do not want to deal in unproven facts, but my firm personal conviction is that, yes, this was the case. They were being bribed. The fact that Joe Biden gave away $1 billion in U.S. money in exchange for my dismissal, my firing, isn't that alone a case of corruption?
John, now Shokin, along with Biden critics, famously point to this moment where the former vice president in 2018 said this about Shokin's firing. Watch.
As I'm leaving in 6 hours, if the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid at the time.
With regards to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, ain't that called a smoking gun? Ain't that all what you kind of need is his testimony, with which you got his testimony, I got his testimony, everybody got his testimony. Plus, we got the clip of Joe Biden saying it back and forth. You know, ain't okay.
This interview coming up, White House spokesman Ian Sams said Fox is giving a platform for these lies to a former Ukrainian prosecutor general whose office his own deputy called a hotbed of corruption, drawing demands for reform not only from then Vice President Biden, but also from U.S. diplomats, international partners, and Republican senators like Ron Johnson. Now, we checked, John, and found a 2016 letter signed by Republican Senator Ron Johnson and his former Republican colleagues Mark Kirk and Rob Portman, calling for a change in the prosecutor general's office in February 2016 when Shokin still ran the show. He was gone from office about 6 weeks after that letter. The full interview with him airs tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time with Brian Kilmeade.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Now, the Biden administration is trying to pass off this Fox News interview as some type of conspiracy, right? Oh, well, they're bringing somebody on the platform that everybody wanted fired, okay? Everybody wanted them fired, including U.S. officials, except that's not true, because the Obama administration actually signed off on the $1 billion for Ukraine that Biden threatened to hold back. Now, I want to read about this because it seems like Obama's State Department loved Viktor Shokin, right? Loved him so much that, again, he signed off on this $1 billion loan until Joe Biden, for whatever reason, right? Reasons that, you know, it's hard to figure out, okay, if you're the mainstream level media, he decided to go against that. Let's read here. Former President Barack Obama's State Department and several other administration officials were happy enough with Ukraine's former top prosecutors' anti-corruption efforts to sign off on $1 billion in U.S. aid weeks before a pressure campaign spearheaded by then Vice President Joe Biden forced him from office, documents show. The government memos obtained by Just the News and released on Monday contradict the prevailing narrative put forward by Democrats, arguing that Biden's threats in December 2015 to withhold U.S. loan guarantees for Ukraine in exchange for the ouster of Prosecutor General Viktor Shokin from office was consistent with U.S. policy goals.
Damn. Okay. Yet again, with all this evidence that they piling up, I keep saying this, and I'm gonna keep saying this over and over. The more and more we pile up his evidence, the more and more I feel like he's not gonna win. So by the time that what January, whenever the new president kick in, which is January 1st or January 22nd, I forgot, some shit like that. Then he'll probably be going to court and getting booked and fingerprinted and all this stuff for all these cases and stuff like that. I really think I think like instead of the Republicans attacking, I just think they just need to just keep building evidence until where they have no choice but to take him to court. Just like, not harass them like they've been doing Trump for 4 years and indicting them and all these allegations. No, just let them
Interesting.
just let the evidence fall into our laps.
Interesting, because again, that's one of the excuses that Democrats come out here and peddle and say, well, you don't understand. Joe Biden wasn't pressuring the Ukrainian officials to fire that guy because it would benefit his son's company. Actually, no, you don't understand. Everybody wanted him fired, right? Everybody wanted the guy fired. The whole world wanted him fired. You don't understand. It wasn't just Joe Biden, right? Again, it's amazing. It's amazing. Several officials in the weeks leading up to Biden's December 2015 visit to Kyiv had said they were impressed with the progress Shokin's office had made in the preceding months. Okay, aka going after Burisma, right? They were impressed. One of the documents setting forth conditions for the loans drafted 1 month before the vice president's trip listed no issues with granting the funds and said nothing about firing the prosecutor. Reports of the threat to condition the loan guarantees also came as a surprise to U.S. officials in January 2016 as Biden's warning apparently leaked in the Ukrainian press. The memos show Biden may have acted alone and, in fact, countered the U.S. policy when he told then Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko to get rid of Shokin. An FBI whistleblower has alleged Biden pushed for Shokin's ouster because he was investigating gas company Burisma, where his son Hunter had an $80,000 a month seat on the board of directors despite having no expertise in his business. The source said that Burisma CEO Mykola Zchevsky claimed he had bribed the Bidens for $5 million each, partly to get Shokin fired. Yeah.
Jesus. $5 million? You're not gonna get that $5 million. That $5 million, fire him. But yet again, like he just read for you guys, and let me go back 1 second just to show you. This is the reason why, like, this is the guy that they fired. This is him testifying. This is him testifying.
Deal in unproven facts. But my firm personal conviction is that, yes, this was the case. They were being bribed. The fact that Joe Biden gave away $1 billion in U.S. money in exchange for my dismissal, my firing, isn't that alone a case of corruption?
John, now Shokin along with Biden.
Nah, that's not American snitching on him. Like, he's really snitching to the snitching. I'm just saying, ain't that snitching to the snitching? No? Maybe? Sorta? Kinda? Hey, stay tuned. Stay with me, because I do got another marijuana story to actually show. I just found another marijuana story. So, like, yes, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to start going political. We're going to go marijuana, political, marijuana, political, marijuana, political. We're going to go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Get y'all kind of a good mixture of both and both. But I do got a story. I just want to let y'all know as we finish up this story.
Inquiry.
And why can't we get the documents to prove that you're not being bribe, that you didn't get foreign money directly in, that you didn't talk to your son. But what we found now is the things that then Vice President Biden running for president told the American public is not true. And he's now had to change what he said. And now the big whistleblower action that we've now found too, he used pseudonames while he was vice president, where they CC'd Hunter Biden about discussions with Ukraine. At the same time, we've now learned that Hunter Biden was being pressured while he was on that oil and gas company, Burisma, about getting rid of that prosecutor. And you have then President Biden, in his own words, saying that he withheld $1 billion to get that individual fired.
So I take it, if I understand you, you as Speaker McCarthy have not yet made up your mind whether to actually launch an impeachment inquiry.
Well, listen, the thing that holds up whether to do impeachment inquiry, provide us the documents we're asking. The whole determination here is how the Bidens handle this. If they provide us the documents, there wouldn't be a need for impeachment inquiry. But if they withhold the documents and fight like they have now to not provide to the American public what they deserve to know, we will move forward with impeachment inquiry when we come back into session.
All right. Thank you for that.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. That is Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, basically promising that he's going to move forward with the impeachment inquiry if Joe Biden can't provide documents, I'm assuming bank statements, showing that he wasn't bribed, okay, that he probably didn't receive the $5 million payment or whatever. And if Biden doesn't provide that, then they're going to move forward with the impeachment inquiry. Now, will they actually move forward with it? Who knows? Okay. I mean, I understand why they're slow walking it. Apparently, Kevin McCarthy needs to get some so-called moderate Republicans on board with it before launching it, or otherwise it's going to be a big embarrassment, right? If he can't even get his own party on board with it. But apparently it's coming, right? This is what they say. Again, don't take my word for it. This is what Kevin McCarthy's saying. I'm just reporting it. But in the meantime, we have evidence or more evidence of Biden corruption.
What?
As apparently there's a report that came out that
More?
states that the Biden administration met with special counsel Jack Smith's team before Trump indictment. Now, the Biden administration,
This dude can't be doing bullshit. Like,
he hasn't met with Jack Smith or talked to the DOJ about what's going on with Trump. Right now, there's some people, some GOP candidates with, some common sense who actually standing up and, doing the right thing and telling the media, hey, no, you actually really should be asking these questions. You should be questioning the Biden administration on if they're communicating with the DOJ, okay, especially when it comes to these indictments and charges against former President Trump. Now, it seems that we may have some evidence that, who knows, that could possibly be the case. So let's actually read about this. The White House counsel office met with a top aide to special counsel Jack Smith just weeks before he brought charges against former President Trump for allegedly mishandling classified documents, raising serious concerns about coordinated legal efforts aimed at President Biden's likely opponent in 2024. Jay Brandt, who joined the special counsel team in November 2022, shortly after it was formed, took a meeting in the White House on March 31st, 2023, with Caroline Saber, Deputy Chief of Staff for the White House Counsel's Office. White House visitor logs show.
what is going to be the movie? What's going to be the name of the movie that they're going to call this? Two presidents fighting over the White House. Two different scandals. I don't know. Like, man, put down in the comments if you want to, y'all. If y'all seeing this now, later, whenever you're checking this out. What would be the name of this movie be called? Because obviously it's action packed. You're gonna have, man, scandals, paperwork, laptops, sex, coke. You're gonna have all the scandals. You're gonna have all the scandals. Like, this is this right here is what the Hollywood's been waiting on. Somebody's already writing this every day. They're like, man, I'm having writer's block, and then they see what's going on in the news, and they're like, oh man, here we go. Yeah, I got it. What else is going on? I mean, both sides, Trump and Biden, is making so much Hollywood news. Like people up here is talking about they got writer's block and they can't come up with original materials. Man, look what's going on with these two presidents and what's going on, bro. You can write some stuff. You can write a movie. It's action packed. Like, come on, yo. But I don't want to bore you guys with this too much. Like I said, I did tell y'all guys I got another story for you real quick. Let me get into it. Let me go. It shocked me. Where is it? Yeah, this it. Oh,
Call them farmers, if you will.
We provide the plants, the tents, the lighting, all the equipment that you would need to do any kind of growing inside your home.
Their seed of choice, cannabis, and it's a one-stop shop. Julius Franks, Devin Melton, and Dante Johnson are the owners of Baltimore Hydroponics, which means they teach you how to grow plants indoors.
With the cannabis plants, you're looking at for flowering, 12 hours of uninterrupted darkness, 12 hours of light will get you the result. But again, it's going to take you a couple of months to get there.
With the recreational use of cannabis now legal in Maryland, they're often confused with being a dispensary.
We do not provide or sell any THC or CBD products. Young cannabis plants that do not have THC in them right now, once you take them home and flower them, about week 3 or 4, they'll start developing THC.
Education around safely growing plants is their goal. Having had negative experiences with cannabis in the past, Melton is hoping their hour-and-a-half class will weed out the misinformation about what they do and is fulfilling a dream he never knew he had.
I didn't think I was going to teach anybody anything. I didn't think I was going to have no business in Fells Point. So coming together with these two guys, gentlemen right here, has been nothing but a match made in heaven, basically.
Their window plants often get a lot of stops and stares. Planted at the corner of South Broadway and Fells Point, the native Eastsiders say they've become an unexpected tourist attraction.
Everybody from every walk of life is into cannabis. Cannabis is truly a diverse product, if you will. It brings everybody together.
They also grow edible vegetables with plans to feed those in need. Johnson hopes the fruits of their labor will inspire a new generation of entrepreneurs.
As us three guys, we're showing proof, that you can actually take whatever you're doing and make it legal. You just got to understand and study the law. Once you look at the law, understand and study the law, you navigate through that and make sure that your business is straight. Same thing that we did.
Reporting in Fells Point, Megan Rivers, WBAL TV 11 News.
I seen that. I had to show that out. I'm like, okay, check that out. Check that out. Let's see if I can ring out another cannabis. Oh shit.
Well, this is where a man bailed out of his car this morning and ran into the woods, sparking an hours-long manhunt. And inside his car, police found garbage bags full of marijuana.
They got some drills and they got some pretty heavy-duty radio jammers.
A minor traffic violation leads to a major bust Friday morning. An Oklahoma City police officer pulled over the driver of this minivan along Interstate 40 near Anderson Road.
The driver of the minivan immediately, once it came to a stop, he jumped out of the minivan and ran across the highway into the tree line.
Through the morning's darkness and the chaos of the suspect running in front of traffic across the interstate into the woods, officers lost sight of him, but inside the van discovered garbage bags full of fresh-cut marijuana.
Looks like maybe 10 or so 55-gallon trash bags full.
And in the front seat,
it looked like there's maybe some burglary tools or tools that are associated with the burglary. We also found a box with antennas. It's used to jam our police radios and audio and visual equipment. So that led us to believe that maybe it was a burglary.
Investigators believe this is linked to a burglary at a marijuana grow house in Wawoka that happened overnight. They spent hours searching for the suspect using canines, drones, and Air One, but had no luck. It's not clear where he was headed.
I can only assume that maybe back to somewhere in the metro area. Usually when they get that, someone would have to have the experience on how to to process that marijuana, to process it for sale.
Natalie Clydesdale, Oklahoma's News 4.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up. You know when you hit a lick, man, you don't speed. You don't do nothing. You just chill. Hey, but I feel good because I got to show y'all stories from both sides, good and bad, in the marijuana industry. Ah! Let me see if I can get y'all one more. That can't be over weed, so I'm not gonna show that. Oh shit. Here we go.
Well, this business, they want to buy a property that's right on the Bloomfield-Hartford town line. And I spoke with some residents here in Bloomfield today, and they have a lot of mixed reactions. AYR Wellness is a Florida-based cultivation dispensary that has roots in 6 states, wanting to make Connecticut the 7th. Looking to build a cannabis growing center on the property at the corner of Toby Road in Bloomfield. Residents feeling mixed on this possibility.
It's a mixed bag, if there's opportunities to add jobs, and make sure that everything's on the up and up. If the community directly profits and benefits from it, it should be something that should be explored.
I really don't think we need a facility like that here in town. This is a small town, so I'm not sure how that would affect us all.
The company will detail its proposal on Thursday at a town plan.
Ooh, she like affect us all. Girl, you finna get high. Finna smoke some weed. Chill out.
And zoning commission hearing. Town residents can log on via Zoom to hear the proposal and give their opinions. AYR Wellness says the cannabis cultivation facility will bring 75 new jobs to the area. If the company gets the go-ahead, it would be the second cannabis cultivation center to be built in the town.
They not getting no jobs. I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it. It's not bringing, like, okay. She said only 75 new jobs, not 7,500, not 75,000. Let me make sure I heard that correctly. I'm gonna rewind a little bit.
To the area. If the company gets the go-ahead, it would be the second cannabis cultivation center to be built in the town. Back in January, the town of Bloomfield gave Fine Federal the green light to build a cultivation center with no public opposition.
Jobs are hard to come by, good paying jobs, and anything that will kind of revive some of the industry and infrastructure that we have in Bloomfield, I think should be, again, explored as something that should be seriously considered.
We all need jobs, but at the same time, we need quality jobs.
Why sound like I
AYR
went forward?
Wellness says the cannabis cultivation facility will bring 75 new jobs.
Thank you. Only 75 new jobs. That's not a lot. I know she said that's a small town, but that's not a lot of jobs for something that looks pretty damn big. But, yeah. If it's not gonna bring that many jobs, I would have to get the tax. Like, I need the taxation on it. Like, you gotta put the taxes that come out of that into the community. You see what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, y'all, we can love marijuana, we can smoke the weed, we can do all of this, but if you're not knowing where that taxpayer money is going, then we're letting a lot of opportunities pass us by that can be given back to our communities without us paying attention to. And I feel like now that I am into politics and I see how the system sort of works. Don't say I'm a professional because I got my notes, I got to take notes, and I got to sit here and I got to write this stuff down too. But I will say this in conclusion with everything to go on, and I'm showing you both sides. Like, we really kind of got to figure out where this taxpayer money is going to, because you can let a lot of these industries pop up all over America and stuff like this, and you're not getting no benefits, and they're just feeding from your town and properties, and then they can't leave because they have no obligations to leave. You have no reason to be putting them out just because their business is not bringing your money, your town, your city, your country, your whatever you at no money. Just like we seen in Germany, bruh. You seen Beautiful Weed, and we was talking and everything, and it was nice. But I'm like, they not even recreational. They're not even medical. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to do it. They're still under prohibition, and they see what we're doing over here in America. How states were able to make profit. Listen, states make profit off of marijuana, and it needs to be. And I know everybody like, well, that's what you think everybody's growing weed in the house for, so we can not make profit off of marijuana just as much as we want to. And people are gonna be like, Michael, you crazy, you stupid. I'm like, okay, everybody's growing weed. Everybody's growing weed. Everybody's growing the best, and this and this and this. And it's not like alcohol. It's not like cigarettes. You see what I'm saying, y'all? It's not like you can go out there and get it. Y'all finna treat this stuff like a fruit, vegetables and stuff that's grow, and everybody's finna have it. And then it's gonna be overran. And then the government like, ha, I told you, bitch. And then I'm like, now I'm gonna take it away because now it's everywhere. They're gonna think we abusing it. They only think that you smoke 3 times a week. 3 times shall you smoke out of a week. Anything over there is abusing marijuana. Now, this is what doctors say over here in America. And I want you to realize this is what they say, this is what they do, this is what we see, this is what they're advocating for. Okay. I'm not just trying to be mean just to be mean, but I'm just letting you know this is what it is. Okay. So
To the area. If the company gets the go-ahead, it would be the second cannabis cultivation center to be built in the town. Back in January, the town of Bloomfield gave Fine Federal the green light to build a cultivation center with no public opposition.
Jobs are hard to come by, good paying jobs, anything that will kind of revive.
With no public opposition. Meaning, see right there, okay, yes, meaning right there, they're not giving no money back to the community. They don't have to. They was like, here, you can have this property, here we bought it, we put it up, we making money, we can be shipping that weed anywhere. And the taxes that money pay on doesn't go to the community, it goes back to the city. The government gets it. I don't know who runs it out there. And they get the money and they do whatever they want to do with the taxes. That the community say, no, if these companies come up in here and build something, this taxes got to go to this community, schools, libraries, roads, whatever you need to be done in your community. Stop the violence.
Some of the industry and infrastructure that we have in Bloomfield, I think should be, again, explored as something that should be seriously considered.
We all need jobs, but at the same time, we need quality jobs.
Now, this company also says that this will be a growing center only, and we did reach out to town leaders and we're waiting to hear back. Again, if you have an opinion on this, you can join the Zoom meeting tomorrow at 7 p.m. In Bloomfield, D'Andrea Turner, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Vegas vacation. I'm gonna see if I can try to find that Zoom meeting, and we're gonna go live with it tomorrow, and see what it's about. That's interesting. I am very interested in that. Okay. But ladies and gentlemen, look, I ended it with the news. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up, y'all. Look at this. We doing it. I'm about to get up out of here. It's been another show. Whenever time you're watching this, I appreciate it. Have a good night, y'all. Peace.